Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look at Holochain here, or HOT, and effectively help you understand a little bit more about what's going on, what's going to happen next, and if there's any potential for this to continue much higher. If you're new to the channel though, not a financial advisor, I really just love teaching people how to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. Been trading for over 16 years, and my goal is to help you become a better, more self-sufficient trader. CryptoCache.tech is a website you can go to become a more foundational trader, learn the basics from my trading academy, and more importantly, build on that basic with my signals that I send, where you can one-click follow, of course, or just learn how to structure your trades effectively in this ever-changing dynamic. So that is essentially something I might recommend you to consider. I look forward to working with you, of course. Link in the description below. Now onto HOT here. I got a lot of requests. Obviously, I can see why. It's up, what, 15% today? 17 from bottom to top. Definitely doing very well. And we can see this breakout, essentially. What happened is you see the price slowly progressing down, and then for 4 days straight, continuation of the upside, and then it totally broke out. So that's a pretty common characteristic in a lot of crypto right now, or just in general. When you see a price consistently digressing, eventually there's going to be a breakout to the upside where you see an increase in volume, which we see here so far. So a lot of volume, a lot of potential here, of course, and I think it's going to probably continue, but we'll double check and make sure. Key here is to understand we're up over the 50-day SMA for the moment. If we get a close above, just say, what is that? Is that 0.0045? Then we'd be in pretty good shape, right? So close above that level would be great, but ultimately we're looking pretty good here. So HOT is looking fantastic in that sense. Let's go ahead and double check RSI. We're up over 50 on the RSI and under 70, means we have plenty more room for growth. So if it were to continue to increase today or tomorrow, perhaps even the day after, we'd still be in good shape to not be overextended, at least on the 1 day, okay? Smaller time frames, different story, we'll talk about that. But in general, I like everything that I see here so far from HOT on the 1 day. Look at the 4 hour, obviously a bit on the overextended side here. I mean, we've seen the most amount of volume, 13% increase in the last 8 hours alone. So HOT is definitely taking off. And you can see here, of course, it got stuck on those key level resistance and eventually just broke out to the upside. That in combination with a strong volume profile pushes the price action higher. So really good stuff there in that sense. Once we hit 0.00418, it just broke out from there, and it's obviously shooting straight up. So looking very good in that sense. The only concern I have is that the RSI is up over 70 on the 4 hour, but that can work as a support level. If the price were to come back down, we might see that bounce, and that could potentially imply that 0.0045 is a good, strong support level. We could see that as a support here. So looking good in that sense as well. Only thing else I want to double check is TD sequential. This is a common characteristic right now with a lot of coins that are taking off today. We see an 8 on TD sequential, basically telling us that the likelihood of it going higher from here is lower. Basically just meaning that we have 8 4-hour candlesticks, 32 hours worth of continuation of the upside, and effectively giving us that resistance, so to speak, or that pullback, that necessary pullback. So I would not be surprised if we do not close above this and we start to progress, kind of trend down to potentially test. This is a key level support, 0.00418. But once again, if it doesn't come down that low, it'll probably average itself out somewhere in this range and then leg up again. All right. The likelihood of HOT going up higher from here is much higher based on the most recent amount of volume being introduced versus coming down and just kind of crashing. I don't think this is just kind of a one-time thing. I think it has more long-term potential based on some of the larger time frame metrics here and the fact that we're up over both moving averages. I just don't know with this candlestick being so large, how much higher can it go in this immediate future, right? We'll look at the 1 hour and see. In fact, why don't we take a peek at that? Also very similar scenario. In fact, I just covered a couple of other coins that were following the exact same situation here. They're hitting an 8 on TD sequential on both the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Basically just tells us that we're probably going to see a turnaround soon. It may not be significant, but it will be relevant. And in that sense, likely some sideways action. Worst case scenario, retracement next down, back down to a potential key level support, or just straight sideways again for consolidation before the next leg up. That's probably more likely based on its overall movement and trend so far. Because once again, the trend is your friend. We got to recognize the trend right now is bullish for HOT. and if HOT's hot, right, then there's no reason for it to need to cool down, but it does need to consolidate and relax for a little bit before it legs up. Okay. Again, if it pushes up one more time or a few more times, we're going to see a continuation of the downside a lot faster, a lot stronger, because then it's overextended. And then anybody that's wanting to take profits will do that, and they're usually the ones that have a lot of HOT, right? So just keep that in the forefront of your mind here. It's not like it's a guarantee the price is going to retrace, but it's strong likelihood it's going to go sideways or retrace, and if that makes any sense. Again, when we have TD sequential hitting an 8 on both time frames, that tells us we're really close to the end of the road here, and that a pullback is necessary. Okay. Once again, doesn't even have to be a pullback. It could be something that looks just like this, right? And then the next leg up. It's all I'm asking is a nice consolidation from hot. Please, Hot, can you please go ahead and give us a little bit of consolidation for your next leg up, so we don't have to experience a wick like this, right? That's just what I prefer, because again, a nice healthy continuation pattern looks like this, right? Get this next leg up, we got to go sideways. All right. I hope I drove that home well enough or correctly for you. Generally speaking, I would say big picture, if we're to kind of look at generally what this Fibonacci retracement here, kind of telling us, hey, if it were to continue to go higher, what would that look like? Well, we could potentially see somewhere in the range of 0.007 up to 0.008. That is a possibility. And when I say possibility, I just mean that in the distant, perhaps not so distant future, if we have a nice continuation, that is a likelihood. Again, we're way too far away from that for the moment to be able to acknowledge, but generally speaking, a lot of times when we break this most recent high, you will see these upper Fibonacci levels get hit. All right, I hope that makes perfect sense to you. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you learned something, of course. Once again, you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech, learn to trade with the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.